Now, I'm speaking with Ann Pedersen. She is essentially the main writer here of the manual, so a very, very important job, integral to the look, the feel, and what is in the manual. So, question is, an organization that has not had any formal introduction to the actual process itself, how and in what ways would they use this, and in terms of how it would be applicable to their organization?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jeff. So the manual is really written so that people who are just starting out with this are kind of scratching their heads and going, what the heck is this thing called RPL? Recognition of prior learning is something that everybody actually probably practices, but may not realize it. So the manual provides 9 guiding principles for people to really think about, well, what does this practice of RPL mean? Those 9 principles have been researched. All of our stakeholders have said, yes, this fits with what we do and what the practice means. So those will really help guide what people are going to do. And then from there, we also offer some checklists. People can take a look at those checklists and say, oh, okay, I never really thought about that part. I can actually use that piece. Or hey, we already do that. So those things are really going to help people get started. So there's an introduction to RPL. What is it that we can do? How can we get started?
That's interesting. Now, this isn't at the other end of the spectrum, but there are organizations that have been introduced and may, in fact, even use such a process on an ongoing basis. How would they use the manual as possibly an additional tool? Would this fit in nicely with a process already on the go?
Absolutely. Those checklists that I mentioned are going to help those organizations that have been working with us for a while. Because what we've done is we've built into those checklists some whole ideas about here's what we do. Do you do it? Yes, no, or hey, I'm actually kind of working on that right now. And I've also got some thoughts there where I can provide evidence to prove that I am doing this. And then there's some other steps further up the ladder that I'm going to build on in later years. So these organizations are going to say, oh, okay, we already do these 10 things, but here's some things that I can improve upon or add to what I'm currently doing to make our process better. So those checklists are really going to be important. So we, again, beginning with those 9 principles, then the 6 steps checklist, and then we also have a systems and procedures checklist. So those systems and procedures checklists will really help existing organizations build their practice. And we've got some good case studies built into the manual, as well as some ideas about what other organizations are actually doing, practicing now, things that are working for them to help people move along.
Now, you touched upon one aspect of the next question, so perhaps we can conclude with this. The issue of input always plays a major role in when you put something together like this, the research, the actual writing, and the final product. So are you pleased with the kind of input you got from others?
Oh, absolutely. The people that we've involved in this research, all of the stakeholders that we've had involved on the team, the advisory committees, the focus groups, just the one-on-one interviews that we were able to conduct have been tremendously helpful. They've either validated what we already knew, or they have added to what they say, maybe you should add this into the manual. And okay, yeah, we need to think about that too. So the value of the broad stakeholder group has been just tremendous. It's been very helpful. And I would just like to thank everybody who did get involved and help us with this manual. It was truly a team effort.
So a very positive start to a very interesting conference.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for taking time.